Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of AFC Northerners. We are 1 week away from the kickoff to the 2015 season. So going right down the line, I'm Sam, repping the Bengals in LA.
Dave Greene, Browns guy.
Justin Finch, in for Jan David, representing the Ravens.
John Kirk, Steelers guy.
So first and foremost, I guess we'll talk about the last round of preseason games. Bengals had a good one against the Bears, jumped out to a 21-3 lead, held on to win 21-10. Andy Dalton and A.J. McCarron combined for perfect passing in the first half, which was great to see. Dalton actually had, on our first touchdown of the game, had a quarterback sneak, tweaked his neck. They pulled him out of the game just as a precaution. Apparently everything's fine, but it's fucking preseason.
It's preseason.
Why leave him out there?
Calm down. Everybody calm down.
Exactly. So the good thing about that was, we recently cut Josh Johnson, who was one of our backup quarterbacks. We told A.J. McCarron, the job is yours, and he responded really, really well. He had a great game, had a really nice TD to Marvin Jones. The only thing he's got to work on is he's having a really hard time eluding the pressure. And of course, you get a rookie quarterback out there, and of course they're going to send the pressure immediately. But he looked good, and don't really expect to see many of the starters in the next preseason game, but there might be a couple roster battles there. So, Browns
31-7 victory. Woo,
woo! Browns won.
Yes, victory. Yes. I don't know. McCown went 17-23 for 117 yardage totals. But he had 2 touchdowns. The one thing that continues to stick out is our special teams. Benjamin had a punt return for a touchdown. We're going to look really good right there. I really think I can see 500 for us this year, especially if the defense holds up.
Well, and you're going to be getting a lot of kickoffs.
Yeah. Which is really, you know what? If we can score all of our points by a kick return, I'll take that shit. What the fuck? A victory's a victory.
What about the Ravens, brother?
We lost this week 3 to the Redskins.
Who was that?
The Redskins.
The team from Washington.
The team from Washington. We don't want to. The Washington Voldemorts. We're now 1-2. We lost 31-13, which is kind of shocking. We had a great start to the game, and we just lost it. Flacco went 8 for 13 attempts. Looked pretty decent, but again, it's preseason. Everybody calm down. For me, the big takeaway is the return game. Asa Jackson had a 103-yard return before he was tripped up on the 2nd-yard line. When we let go of Jacoby Jones, it left a huge void in the return game. And so it looks like Asa Jackson is the man to fill the spot, hopefully. Did great on the kick return, not so much on the punt return, but it's still, he's the guy in the lead. If you're watching the 2 big things, which are not really football related, but Steve Smith was actually ejected from the game, which
I just didn't really feel like playing. Get me out of here.
That's exactly what I would do.
Get me the fuck out of here.
It's like when you're in high school, you pick a fight just so you can get expelled. Like, I'm out of this. I'm done. I'm done.
I'm gonna go chill, get a drink, get some food.
We're over. Yeah. And then the other thing is Harbaugh's interview the second at the halftime. It was a little curt, a little short, and afterward did a little bit of PR saying, "I'm just not good at interviews. Second half." Halftime. I'm just not good at halftime interviews.
Reed, it's only preseason. Leave me alone.
Exactly. Yeah, but not the best preseason we've had. But again, it's preseason.
Who cares?
So moving on.
What about the Steelers, brother?
All right, well, the Steelers, one thing I was kind of surprised at is that the 3rd preseason game is supposed to be the one where you play the starters for at least the first half. Ben played 2 series and was out. And Vic stepped in, which I can kind of understand because the man just signed and needs
get him some reps.
Yeah. And he looked good. I mean, he threw a dime to Martavis Bryant, which was 63 yards, I think.
Martavis was smoking on that play.
Yeah, more than just on that play.
Smoking.
But once again, the fear is that every so often they get haunted by this. They go 8-8. They play people say they play to the level of their opponents. Because the Bills put 49 points on them. 49. The Bills. So you know, the defense looked amazing against the Packers, and then they get trounced by the
Well, there's been a lot of talk about whether that defense is probably going to be a little up and down with LeBeau gone and going through, you know, a change in scheme and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, might be a rocky ride. Who knows?
they have to buy into it.
Wishful
All
thinking for the
three of
rest of
us
us.
will take a rocky ride.
Right? Yeah, we're all about it.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I could use a pretty easy Thanksgiving this year.
So as far as other news, we'll go down the line one more time. For the Bengals, you know, like I said, the starters aren't going to play probably at all in Indianapolis. There's a couple position battles up for grabs. Our rookie, Super Mario Alford, is probably locked in at receiver, especially since we just cut Denarius Moore. And he's probably going to get a lot of our kick return duties when Pac-Man Jones isn't taking a kickback, or Brandon Tate. So he'll get some opportunities there. The other big one is going to be on the defensive line. You know, it's never been very good, our rotation in there, but, you know, there's guys like Devin Still. It sucks because everybody loves him, but he's just not playing well at all. So I'd have a real hard time seeing him make this club. And there's a couple guys like that, and there's also some rookies like P.J. Dawson who've played their heart out that look like they should make it, but we're so deep at linebacker, you never know what's going to happen. Right. So those are the things we're going to be looking for in the 4th preseason game. How about you?
Cuts, Phil Taylor and Kitchen on the defensive line. Why do we cut them? Obviously, they think that we have enough depth at that position that we don't need to afford those two. The one bad thing about the Taylor situation, we traded down to get him, traded out of Julio Jones. That's
Phil Taylor was the 6th and final pick in the Julio Jones deal that is no longer on the Browns.
That's a shame.
That hurts.
The other thing I did want to point out was a guy I've been rooting for like the last 3 weeks, Shane Wynn. He also got cut. Kind of bummed. Cleveland guy. But
what you gonna do?
nothing. What can you do?
It is what it is.
Practice squad, yeah.
It's,
Probably.
you know what? I would hope so. I really hope so. But I think they cut him so Terrell Pryor can get a shot at this.
Gotcha.
That's what I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can
You
see
know,
that.
with
I can see that.
Manziel's injury, and then you need another guy at quarterback. And if Pryor can do that, maybe we could run the wild card too, or
Right.
the wildcat.
Sure. I think the more Manziel is actually injured, the better off you are. You can actually focus on the actual talents.
On talent,
Yeah.
and it gives Johnny a chance to focus on actually getting himself straight. You know, mentally. 'Cause
Still.
the guys,
Sure, yeah,
you know,
that's what he's going to focus on.
Right, yeah.
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 Anybody got $1?
How about the Ravens?
Tomorrow night, we're playing Week 4 preseason, the Falcons, which, speaking of the turn game, we're going up against Devin Hester, who is playing with the Falcons, doing quite well. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see how our defense tries to stop him with the kick and punt return. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup tomorrow, especially the last game before we actually start playing some real ball.
I guess the only question would be how many returns he's going to be back there for in the 4th preseason game, but
yeah,
I'm sure he'll be there to
there's
start.
also- and there's also, I mean, when someone is that well known for that, you tend to not kick it to them.
Right.
So there's also that.
Kick it the fuck out
Yeah,
of bounds, right?
but and then also in our injured list, no surprise here, Dennis Pitto was put on the player unable to play, the PUP list. So we're looking to see him probably around November, just right when you know, things are going to be interesting. He's going to try and come back in, which personally I'm kind of like, let's just kind of move on. It's my opinion, only my opinion, but. You know,
I'm sure there are others that share that.
I just, for someone who's been so problematic with staying healthy, for the tight end game, you need to have someone who can really take a hit and get a great stretch out there. And I don't know, for someone who's always on the injured reserve, it's not going to be him.
But when he's been good, he's been really good.
But
It's
how
just
often has
staying
that
out.
been?
It's just staying out there,
That's
right?
like 2 years ago he was really good.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
where he was consistent. The last 2 though, I don't think he's been that consistent.
Agreed.
He's been injured. It's
Agreed.
Very Chris Cooley-ish
Very
when you look at
agreed.
it.
And also Matt Elam and Cam Worthy both put on injured reserve this week, so they'll be out for a few weeks at that. So
Last but not least, Steelers.
Well, I think talking about consistency, I think Ryan Shazier and Jarvis Jones are some flashes of what everybody in Steelers Nation hopes that they will be. But most importantly, this game coming up against the Panthers, I just hope, please God, that the kicker stays healthy. Okay?
The third kicker of this preseason.
We played 4 games.
All right.
So, you know, that's it. The defensive backs might be an interesting thing to watch as well.
The kicker thing is interesting. By the end of the season, you might have more kickers than spinal tap head throwers.
Right.
After it's like a rotating door.
After this, we'll be like recruiting from the Boy Scouts. So it's like anybody.
Right. Who can come and kick? All right, that's going to do it for us for this week. We'll be back next week with another one. We'll do wrap up the preseason, probably talk some schedule, have a couple predictions. So until then, we'll sign off with the way that we always do with Fuck the Patriots. Have a great night, guys.